Sing it, girl. My guest today is LZ Love. She is a musical performer with an incredible voice, and she is transsexual. You're welcome. That song is New Life. Tell us about it.
Wow, well, first of all, I'm an ex-backup singer of Sylvester, who was one of the first black flamboyant disco queens that came through in the 70s, way before RuPaul and the type of dance music like people like Lady Gaga is doing. Sylvester was doing it then. And at the age of 16, I got a job of singing backup for Sylvester. And that was like totally a mind-blowing experience for me. So that groove, I was very much inspired by Sylvester's music. And then the message was me feeling sort of empowered, of making myself feel good about who I am and hoping that I can bring joy to other people who have felt insecure about themselves for whatever reason. That's
great, because I'm sure there are a lot of people who could use that message.
Yeah.
LZ, you've been in long-term relationships with men since you transitioned. How do you approach the subject with potential of being transsexual with potential partners?
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
How does that go?
Okay. For instance, like if I'm at a club and somebody wants to dance with me, I'll dance with them. If someone wants to start getting close up on me, I tell them immediately that I'm transsexual.
You do?
Yeah. And that has worked very well for me, and it has prevented me from having any altercations or any problems with anybody, because I don't have anything to hide, and it's a safer way to live. It's the best way to live. I mean, why would you want to string someone along just because you can do that?
How often does it happen? Like percentage-wise, roughly, do most men, are they okay with that, or do most men go, oh, thanks for telling me, bye now?
I would say about 60 to 65% is okay with it. If it's no more than them being curious, want to try it or try out knowing a person like who you are. Then there's some men that's just used to what they are used to and they like that, or some men are just not ready at the time. They'll think about it later. I've experienced someone who I met who was not ready for me, at the time, and then 2 years later, they told me that they had an experience with someone and they became ready.
So let me ask you this. I mean, we don't know the answer to the general surgery question, but when you say you let them know up front, is that part of letting them know?
Yeah, I let them know everything about me.
Oh, okay. Oh, really interesting. Okay. That's great. I mean, that's great that you're just that upfront. LZ?
And the general surgery question, I don't think that should be an issue. I don't think people should worry about that no more than what they would worry about if a woman has,
big boobs or small boobs?
Or a birthmark on her breast, or a nipple that's had a defect, or anything of that nature. I mean, those are personal things about people, and society needs to understand where they need to dip and where they need to not dip.
How is it for you, LZ, being a woman? Is it a dream come true?
It's not a dream come true. It's a way of life. It's a way how I feel comfortable. It's natural. It's natural for me being a transgender woman. I don't take for granted that I'm a genetic female woman, because I know that I'm not, but I am a transsexual woman, and I'm proud to be a transgender woman. I'm grateful that in today's world, where people, if they don't like their lips, or if they want bigger breasts, or if they want to get surgery, or, take hormones or whatever, that we can do that now and to become the people, that we weren't.
LZ, it seems that you've had a relatively easy time with the transition, which is not a given. For some people, it's really a big struggle for acceptance in a lot of ways. But you use the word passable. You look very much like a woman, and you're a successful performer. So it certainly doesn't seem that being transsexual has kept you from amazing opportunities. Would you agree that, relatively speaking, you've had an easier time of it than maybe some other people who are transsexual?
I think I have, and this pertains to a lot of my girlfriends and girlfriends that are out there that might not be as petite as I am, or might have a more noticeable Adam's apple, or might not be as passable, but inside them, they feel just as passionate about their gender and about who they are as opposed to how I feel. And I feel that some of those struggles, are really hard, for people. And then people's families sometimes are so cruel and so not supportive with people who wants to do something that's pertaining them and their decision. And I've been lucky, my mother and my sisters, my nieces and nephews that I helped raise and all that, it's a great support there.
Elsie, how has becoming a woman affected your music?
It hasn't really affected my music. If anything, it has given me more, but I have to say it's a struggle because I deal with a lot of the setbacks that females deal with, where sometimes it's a male's world. It's a male dominant scene, even amongst musicians. And sometimes when I need to have something done or need to make a statement, women sometimes have a hard time voicing things or being respected. Fortunately, with my musicians and my peers, I've earned my respect. And they understand me and love me and know I don't never want to be the bee. I always want to be as sweet as I can and real as I can, but I don't let people, treat me any kind of way. So that's the problem that I deal with as being a transgender female, that it is a male dominant, feel.
It's fascinating to have that perspective, to have, have been both genders. Is your singing voice the same or different since you transitioned?
It's actually pretty much the same.
Interesting.
Yeah. I become a voice teacher over the last 10 years. So I have to grant that to me, learning technique and learning how to speak more correctly and sing correctly, that those things has helped to save my voice, and certain things that makes my voice higher when I need to sing higher.
You have a show at the Saxon Pub this Saturday. What are the details of that?
Yes, we're going to be at the Saxon Pub this Saturday, which I think is the 7th. And we'll be on from 10 p.m. till 11:30 p.m.
All right. That was Elsie Love. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You can learn more about her and hear her music at elsie-love.com. To stay up to date with interviews, become a fan on Facebook at facebook.com/interviewslive. That's INNER Views Live. To hear past shows, please go to interviewslive.com. Thanks for listening to the show today, and we'll see you next week.